3, 2, 1. What is up, everybody? It is your boy Jojo. Welcome to Just a Vibe podcast. And today I have my guests. Yeah, they're my guests.
They're not amazing anymore.
They're not amazing anymore. They're not
amazing.
Wonderful. These guys have been on it already. You guys,
Average.
if you haven't seen any of the last podcasts, but these guys are the ones who were on it, right? And so I'll explain a little bit more. On my closest to me is Crystal Choi. On the furthest to me is Ivan Ho.
What up?
Only great, amazing people I have on these podcasts.
We're back to being amazing. We're back to being amazing.
Wonderful,
I
gorgeous, love it.
it.
Sexy, right? And I don't know, like it's a new podcast, so I kind of want to talk about. No, we'll intro with. It has to be like this. So we'll intro with what you guys do and how you are in your life and things that you're finding difficult. So we'll start with Ivan. Yeah, something different.
Yeah. Okay, so I mean, aside the usual norm of just work and whatnot, but one of the things I've been learning in my life is just being more mindful, consciousness, self-awareness, all that stuff. And I think it's an ongoing progression that you do as a person. But that's the one thing I've been working on.
If you guys can't see this in the visual,
sorry.
Ivan's mic is kind of
I
like
just want to be too much into the mic.
It's fine.
I think
Yo,
you're too tall.
tilt it down.
Maybe.
Tilt it down a bit.
Down.
No,
this way.
up a bit. Yeah.
Okay.
No. Back.
No.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyways, yeah. So just being more mindful, being awareness is something I've been ongoing a lot, but I don't think it's a journey that you ever stop. But it's something that you always work on, and I think it bleeds into a lot of the other aspects of your life of being aware of other people, being mindful of where they are, putting yourself in their shoes. And I think that bleeds into, once again, how you interact with others in relationship and all that good stuff.
You're 26 this year, right?
Yeah, fuck. 27 soon.
27.
Like, you and I are March babies. We
March
fish
baby.
buddies.
Yeah, we Pisces.
yeah. Fish gang. Orca whales.
You're not, okay, after, we talk about this a lot, but like after 20, you're kind of like, similar. Everyone's similar. Like it's like we're all going through the same thing. We're on the same boat.
Yeah.
Right. So it's not like that age gap is a big factor in our friendship.
No, you're right. There's like, I think after maybe like 20, 21, like no concrete number, but we're on this general journey of figuring it out.
Yeah.
Where there's that pressure of like, quote unquote, I need to have this by 30.
Yeah.
But at the same time, this ongoing journey of like, what is my purpose in life, what I want to be, what I want to do, and how I want to react to everything. And I think it's the big thing. So I think once you get past where you're like, how old are you, blah blah blah, it's like I was like, where are you at in your journey? Like where are you at? Like, I'm 22, but I'm figuring this out. I think about this.
I think bringing it even a step behind that is that we're not a rat race.
No,
It's not a rat race. Not
exactly.
Even it's a marathon. Maybe
it's like, it's not a race, it's a marathon. And in a sense, like this marathon of life is it's long term.
Yeah.
And that it's not about how fast you go, it's about appreciating the journey and what stops you take in between. And that appreciating that and learning from it each step of the way, that makes you a total amalgamation of who you are and what you want to do today.
Yeah, that's good. And Crystal Choi, this girl over here is my side guest.
Hey, what am I?
Side guy.
Side guy. Okay, I'll take it.
Side man.
Take what you can get.
I thought we were your wonderful, amazing guests.
What is something that you're learning in life right now? Like at this moment, like I know, like you're a busy girl. I want to know what you're learning in life right now.
I think the main thing probably is like work-life balance. I find it really hard to log out
Work-life balance.
mentally. Like after I log out, I'm still thinking like all day about work. And this is my first like real work experience, so that's something that I found difficult to adjust to. And it's not even like, it's almost like I just want to think about work, like even after I log out, like and that's at top of mind, but it does get very stressful. Like
I mean, like stress is one of the hardest things, like in your 20s, like you're gonna be dealing with, right?
And like the things that you're stressed about in your 20s are so different than like when you're, I don't know, in your high school, you're a teen, like you're stressed about being popular, like having friends. Like,
you want to be that guy or that girl.
Like
a little bit,
you know. But like in your 20s, you're stressed about things like your job, like am I gonna be able to buy a house, like what's gonna happen to my life in the next 5-10 years?
When I'm 30?
Yeah, like what am I gonna do? The things that you're worried about are weighted so much heavier than when you're like in high school. Like that shit doesn't really matter.
Like the pressure is on. You know?
The pressure is on.
It's like like I don't have all the time in the world no more. I gotta really.
But the
think
thing is,
about
you
it.
do. Like I just feel like the internal pressure increases so much. Like for some reason, as soon as you hit like 20, 21, 22, all of a sudden like everything matters so much more. That's when like the internal pressure.
That's very interesting because I went on a date recently, right? And then I was talking to the girl, and it was like I was letting her know that like, or I was kind of telling her, and it was like, as I'm turning 22, I'm kind of understanding that like life is becoming more real, you know? And as I'm seeing myself and where I'm putting myself and like where I stand in the world is becoming more like vivid, right? I'm seeing and understanding that like this is a direction I'm going into. I'm actually moving in a positive direction, right? And what I'm doing and where I've been, like the past and the present, future, where I want to be. And it's like I'm realizing more, and it's becoming more realistic. Because like I feel like when you're 18, 19, even 20, you're kind of like, it's kind of like life is kind of like a blur, right?
A little bit, yeah.
From 17 to 19, you can be like, oh my god, like it was kind of a blur. I was kind of having fun, and I was doing this and I was doing that. But then when you hit 21, 22, it's kind of like you're realizing that like, wow, like this is real, right? And that's kind of something I'm kind of figuring out, right?
Yeah. I think, let alone age, I think there's a point, regardless of age, is a point you realize, what do I want for myself? And age number aside, because I know some people, like, I only highlight you guys, right? Like me being 26, ongoing 27. We were talking about this earlier. Age is just a number. It's just time to gather wisdom.
Exactly.
But if you don't take that time to gather it, it doesn't matter. And,
that's good.
And like I know some people at my age, like whatever journey you're on, maybe some people aren't the same level where I say you or Crystal are on, where you guys are at 22, right?
Yeah.
It's how introspective you want to take it.
Hey, this guy's stuttering.
I'm stuttering. I'm pulling JoJo with statistics. Stats. So introspectively, yeah, it really depends on where you are, right? I don't think age is really a number. And I don't think you got to take age as a sign of wisdom or maturity. Yeah. It's how much you've experienced.
We've talked about that. Yeah, like it's huge. Not, age does not correlate to wisdom.
Yeah. It doesn't.
It's experience.
Yeah, and when you hit that note, right, of where you think, oh, where I want to do, what I want to be, who I am, and how do I impact others in this world. And I think that's the big thing. Jackie Robinson, greatest baseball, all-time basketball. Sorry. But he quotes, is like, life is not as important as the impact it leaves on others. Yeah. And I live by that quote because it's true. Like, no matter how great you are and what you do, it's about the impact you leave on others.
That's crazy. Shit. I love how we're actually like deviating from the main topic I'm trying to talk about.
We're talking about AIDS right now. What are you talking about?
AIDS, yeah. But we'll get straight to it because it's limited time. Kind of. What I really want to get into today on this podcast, on the specific podcast.
Stats.
It's the S's. You can't do it.
So what I'm trying to get to is boundaries. Yeah. Right? Boundaries. So the main topic will be, why is it so hard to set boundaries in relationships? Right? I find it's so hard nowadays to like understand like where you are. I mean, like on the last podcast we were talking about like being able to read the social cues, right, between like a male to a woman.
We don't use the F word on here. We don't use the F word on here.
From a woman. From man to woman, right? Like being able to read that certain cue, right? Understanding that like maybe they are going for you, maybe they aren't going for you, but that's that boundary, right? Whether you're looking for platonic or a actual romantic relationship, right? Like so. I'll start with this. Like, why is it? Like, what do you guys think it's so hard to set a boundary in the beginning, right?
I'm gonna let Crystal start off this one. You go. Crystal start.
She's the most sober. She's the most sober.
a little bit sober, but let alone like I feel like we got this good cop, bad cop dynamic, and I'm gonna label her as bad cop. That's just my perspective. Okay. I mean, viewers can decide, but
you're drunk cop, I'm sober cop. Nah. That's all this is.
I'm fun cop. She downer cop.
Boundaries. Like, why is it so hard to set them?
Yeah.
I feel like especially in the beginning stages, like as bad as it sounds, like you're basically doing everything you can to like make sure that that other person likes you. Yeah. And a big part of being likable is being agreeable. And I think in that sense, like you tend to sacrifice some of your own boundaries to be seen as agreeable or compatible with the other person. Which just comes back to bite you in the ass later, because you know you might be pretend to be okay with things that you're actually not quite okay with.
Okay, so if I were to like round it up, it'd be like an insecurity. You're afraid and that fear of doing something wrong, right?
Yeah, like you're like, oh, like, you know, is it too early to bring this up? Exactly. Like, oh, like they did this thing, I didn't really like it, but like if I bring it up, do I come off as like difficult to be in a relationship with? Right. And you just end up foregoing it, only for it to come back later on, because it's the things that you ignore in the beginning that end up being the big problems down the line. Yeah. So I think that's part of why it's so hard to set a boundary in the beginning, and then once you don't set that boundary the first time, it becomes even harder, because you're scared the other person's gonna be like, oh, you never told me this before, like a year into our relationship you're telling me you don't like this. Like,
exactly. Like the timing matters in a way, right?
Well, it does. And like going off of what Crystal said, like I mean, I know Jojo and I had this talk, but like it's coming down to, you know, we're all strung up in this like hookup culture, this fast pace. And maybe like, you know, for the viewers who know, like I'm 26 going on 27, y'all are 22, like maybe I'm an old man about it, but taking that time to understand and ask these questions about your partner, I think is important, right? So, and how Crystal's talking about like, oh yeah, maybe like I don't want to say or set these boundaries because I don't know if they'll like me this way or this and that. And I think it is a fair thought, and maybe we can call it insecurity to have, because it's true. Like, you know, you like this person so much, you want to scare them off. But I think it's such a fair topic to bring up in the beginning, because you don't want to get so far down the road. Maybe like you skip over this conversation where it's like, oh, okay, you know, I'll push this aside. And then it's kind of down like the road,
you don't really know the person. So you don't want to make a bad impression.
Right? And I think in a healthy relationship too, when you can confidently bring it up, and I think you have that confidence in yourself too, where you're like, you're talking to someone in the beginning, and like, I know, like, this is me. This is why I hate hookup culture, is like the talking phase, man. Like, fuck your favorite color? You like green? Okay, move on. Next.
It's very generic.
Yeah, it is. It is. And like, don't get me wrong, it's important, but like, there's a point where like beyond moving, like, oh, I don't know, what's your favorite flavor ice cream? It's like, tell me about your boundaries, because the fact that, you know, in this world you're not going to please everyone. And that's a fair fact.
You were telling me you're learning that now.
And that if you can confidently, maybe not in the first week, you know, you're in that phase where like I want to, you know, get them to like me and not scare them off.
It takes time.
It takes time, but at least somewhere in that talking phase where you extend that talking phase beyond that, maybe 1 week, 1 month. Like I'm a 3-monther, man. I'm like, look, I can be exclusive as much as you want, but I'm gonna set these talks. But somewhere in between where you talk about boundaries and you get to understand, like, hey, look, these are my boundaries, and I'm showing you this side, because it is vulnerability in itself. That, hey, this is where I stand, and if you agree or disagree, it's something we either work on together as two people, or we're like, hey, look, I get your boundaries, I don't fully agree with them, and maybe we separate, and that's okay, right? That's where not everyone is going to be.
It just saves you time.
It saves you time. Like, you're not weeding it out, but it's just
you are weeding it out though.
But having that good conversation, and I think most people can appreciate it when you bring it up. Like, hey, look, this is like what I'm comfortable with, I'm not comfortable with, and understanding that, right?
I also think like if you've dated someone in your past who made you feel like shit for having a boundary, like made you feel like you were too needy, or like oh, like what, like, you know, you bring up a boundary and they're like, oh, like you're so insecure, you're jealous, like in your future relationships that's always gonna weigh in your mind.
I mean, I'm pretty sure boundaries kind of set the foundation of your relationship, right?
100%.
So you don't want to come off as too aggressive or too much, right?
Well, boundaries also speak volumes on what you've experienced, right? Especially how you relay it, right? You can be like, yo, man, Jojo, like, hey, by the way, I've been really feeling you, but like, hey, these are my boundaries, and like, this is what I've learned, right? And if you express that to someone, it opens up such a door to other conversations, where they could be like, they'd be like, oh yeah, I appreciate you told me that, but like, like, why do you feel this way? And you're saying you can learn more about others.
I was gonna say, like, what's sexier than communication? At the end of the day, like,
what's sexier than a person that knows what they want? Right?
Yeah.
I gotta ask, what are your top 3 like this is hot. Like, and we're not talking about physical, like, oh, they broad, they're muscular, they got this and that, but like emotionally, internally, EQ level, like they bust this out, and you're like, so you wanna get married now or later? Like, tell me now.
I think it's a bit too early though. I feel like if I was 25, a little bit older, right? It'd be like, if you bring me into your life, kind of thing. You start planning with me in mind. That is very, very like that's hot and sexy, bro. Like that's hot and sexy.
And you know, I don't want to cut you off here, but like, so in terms of like, there's this idea where it's this. I don't want to say it's a PA, like, you know, people are talking about pickup artists, but it's this logic where when you start using language that incorporates a person into your future, it makes them feel more invited and more perceptible to like, oh, this guy's talking about long term. So
at the same time,
when you
like,
say that, like,
what's more sexier than being wanted?
True,
right?
true. So would you feel like if a girl's like 1 week later, it's like, yeah, let's like, I want you to go to Hawaii with me. Or something. Like you find that attractive or some shit? That's a stretch. But like, give me an example. Give me an example.
Like I want you to come out with me, easy.
Oh, okay.
Right? I want you.
The foreignness.
It's like you're singling yourself out. Like there's nobody else I'm talking to.
Right.
My attention is on you. That's hot.
You like that? Like this is it. This is me.
Exactly,
you are the one.
exactly.
Yeah. I respect that. That's good.
Yeah.
That's
I think
good.
for me it's subtler than that. Like for me it's we language. Like
We
we
language.
It's a team.
We together.
what are we doing next weekend?
Oh
my
God.
yeah, like-
And
What are we doing this
Is it the
weekend?
we or is it a combination of the fact that it's we plus I'm planning for the future
Yeah,
of
it's
us?
like a
right?
we, like using the like what's our plan next weekend? You know, like or like what are we wearing like
Yeah,
next month,
so
like to
all
this
those
wedding
guys
we're
out
going
there.
together? Like
Yeah.
what time are we showing up to this place? Like it's very subtle. Like they've done
an
studies on this.
incorporation.
Like couples who use inclusive language like that
Yes.
end up lasting longer than couples who use I. Even couples who use like pet names like baby or whatever. Like at the end of the day, it's the inclusive language, like the we's and the
It's
r's.
the thoughtfulness of your partner. Yeah.
Those because that shows like you see a future with this person. If you're
100%.
constantly just naturally integrating them into your future,
Exactly.
it goes such a long way. It's just
It's the little things.
It's very subtly reassuring.
Yeah.
You
And
know?
I mean, on the other side of that, like if you don't see that person as being like, as if they're doing that same thing, and you don't feel like you want to be included, that's a sign, right?
yeah, like if they start talking we are and you're
It's
like, oh, what do you mean who's
ooh,
we?
who-
Like
yeah,
yeah,
who-
like,
who is we?
yeah, exactly.
That's not me. That's not me.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, that's very interesting. I like that.
Interesting.
Yeah, I feel like
Wait, so you were asking top 3 things.
Top
Yeah,
three
top three
things.
things.
Like,
So
you're talking about like just like be included, I guess.
Yeah,
Like,
be
that
included.
Yeah, that's a good one.
what do you got, Crystal?
Consistency is such a big one. Yeah.
Consistency.
Because this is
Consistency
huge.
is hot, bro.
Yeah, people
Oh,
are
100%.
wishy-washy on like
I think consistency just shows like dedication.
like
mean,
just
all-
keep showing up. Like that's it. Like that's if you're there sometimes and sometimes like I can't trust you. Like I don't know, you're not reliable.
True. I think also planning. Like plan. I mean, that also goes to that very first one, right? Like you have to be able to plan,
Yeah.
right? So that's a turn on for me. That's like a
they put in effort, kind of that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my god, that's a big one. Putting the effort, right? If you think putting effort into time that I'm like with me is like a hassle, then
That's
I'm not who I want to be
right.
with, right?
Yeah.
100%.
Exactly, right? That's
Yeah.
very interesting.
That's a very good one.
Yeah,
Very
that's a
good
What are
one.
your 3?
My 3? Oh, easy. I got this. So first one is what I find attractive, besides like, you know, physically appealing and stuff, is like obviously her, right, in this aspect, but like if she knows what she wants. It's literally like that and it's not notion of what she wants where it's like I just want this, that. It's like it is a more of an internal of like she's like that go-getter mentality.
She has a plan.
It's just like, look, this is part of my plan. Yeah, like part of my plan, this is what I want. Like I don't want to play no
I
games.
feel like that kind of ties into what we're saying, but yeah.
Yeah, it's just like, hey, this is it. This is what I want.
Yeah.
And that also stems over to maybe number 2, but it's just that self-individuality that like that
You're not getting your personality off of TikTok.
but like that like lack of for better that lack of for better words, that
I'm not looking
boss
at anybody
bitch
here.
mentality. It's that boss bitch mentality where it's like
Yeah.
it's like, look, I know what I want as well as I know who I am.
But I think
When
that
you know
also,
who you are, oh,
that is very attractive. But
So
I think
attractive.
there is subtleness that needs to be happening there too. Also humble, like you need to be humble about it.
yes, yeah,
Right.
obviously, like there's a
Like,
humble.
If you're flaunting that, like in your cutthroat of like, okay, I want this, and you're not giving any leeway to like being able to adapt.
You're not flexible.
Yeah, you're not flexible. It's kind of that it can turn in from good to bad.
But and I agree. It's like how you deliver it, right? And I think where I'm at least personally, I can understand where, even if it's a little cutthroat, I can understand it because, you know, like I said, like age difference, right?
Yeah.
Like I can respect where someone understands their expectations for standards. And we've talked about this where that's one of my biggest things right now. Expectation, tolerance, standards, where you can't expect anything other than from yourself because that's the only person you have control over.
Yeah.
But you still have standards, right?
Exactly.
You can come into a relationship. This is super maybe the worst analogy, but it's like I could date a girl. She's like, I expect her to gym.
Yeah.
And if she doesn't gym, I can't be upset.
Exactly.
But like if my standard is like I want to meet a girl who gyms. The girl's like I want a fit girl.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah. But like if my standard is like, oh, I want to like my standard is a girl who gyms, and I weed out the girls who don't gym for whatever that reason is, then I can't be disappointed because that's my standard, right? And when a girl's like, I know who I am, but I don't know what I want. It's like, look, she figured out her expectations. It's like your wants and needs list, right? Do you need this or do you want this? And when you have that, I think there's a level of EQ that comes with that.
Level of
that,
EQ.
that
Very
is
important.
So attractive.
Emotional intelligence.
Yeah, because like,
right
you know, previous podcasts we talked about the you know, the love in 3, right? And when you broke it down to rubric, it's like along that line, knowing your needs and wants falls around that level 2. And it's like, yeah, like I appreciate when a girl, if I meet someone and it's like, hey, look, I really want this in a person, or I need this in a person.
Yeah.
I can respect that. Even if I don't meet it, it's like, look, you have that self-awareness that you figured that out.
Yeah.
That like if it's not me, I can't be down bad because you can't please everyone. And you just accept like I'm not that person for that person.
Like I mean, we talked about in the last podcast. Like we were on it, right? Like it's one thing for you to have expectations and standards on somebody, right? But it's another thing for you to get mad when they don't meet them.
Yep.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly. You can't do that.
That's at that point I feel like it's selfish.
It is.
It's a bit like you're.
If it's a want, expect that it's a want, but it's not a need, right?
Exactly.
So like people will always show you who they are, and you just like if you don't believe it or you want to believe something different, like that's on you at the end of the day. I think it's a different story than when somebody's like wishy-washy. Like sometimes they're doing things and sometimes they're not. Then that's confusing and no fault of your own to stay and be confused by that. But if someone straight up is like, I can't do this, like this is not me, I'm just gonna be straight up.
One of the hardest things though is accepting it and being like being more real with yourself, right? And understanding that like at the end of the day, like this might not be it.
Yeah.
Right.
That's the hard part.
That's the hard.
It's
part.
hard part, and it's always about swallowing the truth, right?
Yeah.
Like you know, we talked about it's so easy to be the victim, but to realize where the other person comes from.
Victim mentality.
It is, and it's like, look, like heartbreaks suck.
It does.
But I mean, you know, speaking personally, it's like once you get over the first couple, it's like, look, if it was that easy, I'd be married to Beyonce by now.
That's what I'm saying.
You know what I mean? Like,
Beyonce.
and it's not
say
that.
My name.
You know,
say my name,
if nobody
say my name.
around you, say, baby, I love you. I am playing games.
Say my name, say my
Everyone
name.
right now
You
is
acting kinda.
everyone-
kind of shady
everyone right
and
now-
call me baby while you playing games.
Ta-da-da,
Tuesday, baby, that's okay. Every other day is and okay.
Start muzzing.
Sorry. Okay. No, but real talk though, like if it's like there's, I think there's also like an EQ where as a person who's maybe being rejected to understand like, look, you can have this crush and affection on someone and it didn't work out that way, and like you're like, if you can work through like maybe why or get that clarity between someone, I think that's a maturity in itself.
Just the way you guys transition back to like, okay,
I'm
anyway.
trying to go to Australia, bro. I'm getting ready, bro.
Yeah, oi.
Everyone can tell right now that I'm the sober one.
I'm great. But yeah, those are my top 2, and then I think my third one, I think it might be a weird third one.
What is it?
What's a weird?
It's
No kink shaming.
This is
tell
your
us.
personality, you know? It is
No.
what it is.
I honestly find it really attractive when a girl's an alpha. And I'll say because I don't like to be an alpha, it's because I think
Is it wait, are we talking about alpha in bed or alpha in define it.
it's like that lead role. It's like it all comes down to like what she wants, but it's just like okay, you know, we'll go deep. It might be TMI, but like I am a person where like, oh my god, the chair slipped. anyone who's watching the seat, I actually legged the seat thing.
It's fine. You're a tall guy, bro.
Yeah,
It's not gonna make a difference.
I was the same height as Crystal after that point.
I
Anyway.
kind of like that.
But you know what? Like, I don't know what it is in my life, but I find so much pleasure in pleasing others. And maybe that is I'm a product of my environment, and it stems to like me sexually, personally, relationship wise. Like, I find so much pleasure in supporting a strong character. Where like what's
Your
that saying?
side
It's like
character?
no,
Side character
no,
mentality.
but it's like what is that saying? It's like behind every strong woman is a supportive male.
No, it's the opposite. Behind every.
like Obama.
No, I think that's where it stemmed from. It's
No,
like,
no, it's behind. Oh, is it?
yeah, it's like behind every strong woman is actually a
No,
strong-
behind every strong man is a woman.
But I'm gonna flip it then. I'm gonna flip it. Yeah. Because
changing the narrative.
Because why it gotta be a male? Why it gotta be a male?
Yeah.
And I'm gonna flip it then because it's like, look, I don't know. It's just me where I feel I know my strength, but I feel so much better when I can support another. Where like I can propagate them towards their dreams, their goals, and even like sexually, man. Like,
and that in itself, for many women, is pretty sexy, bro.
I don't know, but like,
Don't lie to me, Crystal. Come on.
I don't know, man.
It's not sexy when a good man is supporting you. Is it sexy when a man's supporting you?
Yeah, it's sexy when anyone's supporting me.
That's the thing. It's I don't know. My logic is like, look, like if I have like I would say I'm someone with confidence. I know like what I want. I know what I like and like what I want. And that's easy. But when I can give it to another, it's like wow. Like it's such a game where it's like, look, this is what she wants, and as a part of this. It's cool. Like I'm beyond me.
I want to say to you, but that's very unique thinking. I don't really see a lot of people that have that. You know, like a lot of males want to be supported. You know.
Yeah.
And they want to be the male lead, right? But no, you don't really hear a lot of like, I love alpha leads,
Yeah.
right?
I'm a simp.
He's a simp.
I want to be baby.
You want to be spooned.
yeah. Yo. Okay. For all y'all, I'm a 6'1" dude.
Yeah.
Nothing feels better. Like I spent my 26 years being the big spoon.
Yeah.
Nothing feels better when a 5'2" girl becomes your little jetpack in bed. You're like, I remember this one night I turned over and she just, I'm like, I literally woke up. I was like, holy fuck, this is nice. Like
she's the one.
Like I mean, she wasn't the one, but like it was so like I'm like, damn, I can see why girls want to be. You know, like the little spoon, it feels good. Like it's like for once I can feel like I'm small.
Yeah.
For someone who's always so big.
You feel protected.
Yeah.
I did.
And who doesn't want to feel protected?
Yeah, that role reversal, you know?
Because it's like all your insecurities, the things you hate about yourself are feeling. You know, you feel like you think.
Oh, it's that deep.
Yeah.
It
is that.
volume.
Okay.
It's layers. It's how far you want to take it, and I think that's what honestly a level of EQ is. It's like. It can start somewhere, and how far you divulge it into aspects of your life makes it something more. So even that, like, yeah, like in my generation, my era of like being this male, this lead, this toxicity of male, it's like when I finally find a girl who's like, yeah, like let me scratch your head, let me scratch your back, let me be the big spoon. I'm like, fuck. Even if I wasn't fully confident to say like I'm ready to take that role, if quote unquote that is a role, it's like. It's like, damn, it feels good to just without having to say it. It's like,
yeah,
it
does.
Small.
Okay. I guess this is like this is how a woman feels. Not really, but like you know what I mean? Because like the narrative or whatever, right? It's like like women love to be coddled, and love to be like babied and stuff, right? So that's the narrative.
Okay. Wait, I just want to bring back to the spooning thing for a second. This is kind of off topic.
Yeah.
When you like cuddling's nice, but when you guys actually fall asleep, do you like to continue to be like intertwined together, or are you like, okay, get the fuck on your side of the bed?
That's a fair question.
I'm gonna let you know right now, when like unconsciously, like I already understand that like when I'm in bed, I starfish. I starfish. Like it's
JoJo's whack.
Yo.
Do you wake up in the other person's arms, or are you guys like,
no. Every man for himself. I swear to God.
No. Okay,
I'm like.
JoJo's like whatever happens in my sleep, I'm not there.
Yeah.
That's not me. That's not JoJo. That's Momo.
If anybody's listening on the Spotify right now, I'm kind of like I'm starfish right now. I'm you can't, you know.
Okay, so when you sleep at home, obviously by yourself, by your lonesome self, right? Like, do you hug a pillow?
Yeah.
Do you hug a pillow?
I let God be with me.
Okay.
I let God be with me.
My boy hugging Jesus. So
Bye.
so that's me. I'm with Crystal. Like I have this like body pillow and I hug it, right? And I like that. I like hugging it. So when I'm a partner, all that changes is it's not a pillow no more. It is a person. So I actually like it, but the only thing that stops me is like I run hot. So I'm great during winter. Yeah. But by summer,
you're a bear.
You will fucking hate me. You will be like, this dude is hot.
Dude, I'm a natural heater.
Yeah.
Everyone is like, it's just your body heat.
It is. I know, but like I feel like when I'm in bed, I'm like I'm hot. Like I'm hot. It's winter. I'm hot.
I like. See, my favorite is like, I love the days where it's like it's cold, but I like to be warmer than the blanket or like wear layers.
Yeah,
but
that's interesting that you like to fall asleep because I hate it.
Okay,
like I like to cuddle, but then it's like once I'm ready to actually pass out, like
get the fuck off of me.
You need to go away.
Honestly, that's sick. That's sick because like like every guy goes through this like the left right arm numbing.
Yeah. That's
like,
the thing. I feel like my neck hurts. Like I don't know how people actually fall asleep in there because I'm like your elbows in my face, like your nostril breath is like coming. Like I can like
yo. You're coming in hot. You're coming in hot.
Way too hot. Way too hot.
Exactly.
Yeah. That's right. That's right.
Yeah. It's very interesting because I've seen like a documentary or a psychological thing on like TikTok or social media, right?
About like sleep.
Yeah, about sleep. And in marriage, some people actually have separate
rooms, right?
Not even two separate rooms, but also two separate beds.
My barber's like that.
You know, because it's like I want my space.
Sometimes you just want your space.
Yeah,
100%. I totally get that.
And it's an option if you're in the same room because it's like I'll come over to your side.
No,
you know?
But here's the thing. It's like when you're married, like if you get into a huge fight with this person, I do not want to like get in bed with you. That's when like you have your own room. That's great. Also, there's just some days like you just had a really stressful week and you're just tired of like.
You guys need to make money to have two different rooms.
100%.
Or you get a sofa couch. You get some real nice sofa couch.
Okay.
Like if I have a horrible day and like. I just want to be alone. Like I don't want to go home. I have to go to bed with some guy. Like I just, you know what I mean? Like I don't know.
What? Okay. Weird idea, but what if you haven't been with the right cuddler yet? What if, like, could be totally off, but like, what if you just haven't been a person where it's like he just spoons you, right? Or she spoons you.
I don't know. Because at one point you'd be like, I just like you. There's a line, right? You gotta understand like I kind of want my own space, though, right?
Because have you been in a part where you're kind of like cuddling them? You're like, I could do this.
I don't know. Most cuddles I've had, it's like you're sweating, get off me.
Exactly.
Or like I'm sweating, get off of me.
Fair. Yeah.
Right? Exactly. Unless you're like cold blooded, like I don't know who.
So y'all both run hot.
Yeah.
Everyone runs hot.
No.
I actually have like I'm 1/8 Spanish, so you know.
I mean, you run cold. Like
I run hot.
Okay, the passion. I run passionate.
With the passion.
No, one of my ex girls, she ran cold. Like this girl was like
really
borderline hypothermic all the time.
But do you want to be around that though?
No, because like I ran hot. So that's
so good.
So it like we're kind of worked out. You know what I mean? So it was cool. And those are one like I think that was the only one where like all the other ones were like we both ran hot. It was just whatever.
Yeah, give me your space.
Yeah, but that one I was like, you know what? Like, I think you're hypothermic. I think you're dying. So let me save you.
Should have married her.
Yeah, maybe not. She's
probably the one.
Pros and cons, and the scale was off.
Hot and cold, two negative make a positive.
Yeah. She was a Leo, so I don't know. We didn't work out.
Brings back to chem. Oh my god.
Yeah.
We have another question.
Yeah.
Do you guys sleep talk?
No.
Really?
I don't sleep talk.
Recently though, I started to snore.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wait, do you snore regardless or when you drink? I snore mad when I drink. I feel bad.
He drinks every night.
Yeah, I thought like
he doesn't know.
I snore, but it's generic. So my dad snores, right? So he tends to snore in his sleep. I hear it, like I swear to God, the house is shaking, dude.
I think that's a dad thing. As soon as you become a dad,
I think it's age.
It's like the snoring and the when you brush your teeth, like in the thing. It's just
but I tend to snore now.
Oh,
and it's
interesting. But I asked because like I think every boyfriend I've had, I think has sleep talk to some level.
Really?
So I'm like, is it a guy thing? I don't know.
Wait. Have you ever caught anything suspect where you're like,
yo,
he's like Mariah Carey, like anything weird?
No. Well, like they've said weird stuff that just like.
Oh my
really
god! Imagine
sense.
Jennifer.
Yeah.
Yo, who's Jennifer?
or even it's like, I love you, Crystal. Like something where like it's been like 2 weeks in and you're like, whoa, past,
yeah.
right? I mean, like
that's another topic.
Nothing
though.
weird like that, but it's to the point where it's like they'll say something and I'll kind of like I'll talk back to them in their sleep, or I just like kind of like entertain it, and then they'll respond, but they're asleep, but they respond to what I say. So
is that like an invasion of privacy?
Well, they're just saying weird shit. I don't know what the fuck they're dreaming about. It's like stuff that doesn't make any sense. Like, I need to go to the pyramid, and then I'm like,
whoa.
I'm like, where are we going?
Where are we going?
I actually like that answer. That's a good answer.
And then they like respond back for a couple times, and then they can't. But I'm just like, every boyfriend I've had pretty much has had the same thing. So I'm like, is it a guy thing? Like,
okay. So I had this
maybe
talk.
you just don't know.
I had this talk. This is a good one. So, obviously, if you listen to the other podcast, Crystal is a fan of Sam City. And I had this crazy talk with
Shout out Sam
City. But like, I had this talk. I think she talked about it when I talked, but it's like this. It's like because I don't know what TikToks. I you can quote me on this. She talks about guys twitching their sleeps. I have this theory.
All guys do it.
Only girls dream about cheating, and they wake up mad as fuck.
Oh,
where they wake up and like literally you like had the best sleep of your night. You wake up, you turn over to your girl, and she's like, "I'm mad," and you're like, "What?" And she's like, "You share me your dreams," and like you're there like, I mean, do I say sorry? Like, what do you want me to do? Like, do I comfort you? But because I've yet to meet a guy who's like, "Oh, I dreamt my girl shit on me."
You guys have never
I
had a cheating
haven't.
dream?
Never.
Really?
Guys never really tend to.
I've had boyfriends tell me that they've had cheating
Really?
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And were they pretty vocal about it? Where they're like, "Hey, babe, like this made me feel
Because
this
the majority
way."
of guys, the majority of guys I know, like it's always women that have the dreams of being cheated on, and it's always the guys that are always like, wake up like, what?
Yeah.
What? I'm like, I'm mid asleep, and I'm like, what?
The worst is like, it's like you had 5 hours of sleep. She slaps you on the head, and she's like, "You fucking cheat on me." I'm like, "Babe, I've been next to you for the past 5 hours. What do you mean?" She's like, "Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
You
cheat on me
fucking in my dreams."
Yeah.
And like, I had one homie, like this is my one good homie, like shout out Sean. This guy's a true, I don't want to say dog, but player. But like he just knows where he is. He is idols. Like they've been together for 8 years, so he's beyond it. But it's like he's like one time he told me, he's like, I woke up to that. He's like, I woke up, I looked at it. It's like, what? It's like, you cheat on me in your dreams. Like, I'm going back to sleep. He's like, I've done this enough. I'm sleeping. I'm like, wow.
What can you say though? Honestly,
No, I mean like 8 years in, like,
I
and she's
mean,
still flipping that shit on.
I don't
you,
know.
or-
Like it's kind of hard because you got to be able to reassure them, right? It's like,
Yes.
It's just so easy, babe. I would never do that. It was just a dream.
Well, it's-
Good night.
like, see, what I thought was like, it has to stem from somewhere though.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
So it's like,
Okay, if it's a one-off, then it's like, okay, whatever.
But you
Haha,
keep-
kind of funny.
yeah,
But if
yeah.
you keep dreaming, there's something wrong. I dated a guy where I would have cheating dreams every single night
was
Whoa.
this-
because we had issues already in the
was he cheating on the same girl like in your dreams every night?
Yes.
Wow.
Wait. Okay, bringing it back though, I think that those dreams. Okay, do you believe that dreams have a kind of like compared to like dream world and the real world? Do you think they have a
Dreams
correlation?
are so interesting
Dreams
to
are
me.
weird.
How are you literally playing out an entire storyline in your head with real people in your life, and it's so realistic? It's not even realistic, but like, how do you not know that you're dreaming when things?
I mean, it could be nothing, but you could think about it, and it becomes your insecurity.
There's
True,
definitely
true.
like
There's a
meanings
subliminal
to
effect.
your
Yeah,
dreams.
Exactly.
And like,
Yeah,
like,
100%.
how are y'all with dreams? Are y'all like vivid dreamers? Like, I'm vivid. Like,
Do
this
your
is a
dreams
movie.
make sense?
Uh,
Like, would they play out that way in real life?
they don't make sense, but I remember dreams so well.
I actually
And, like,
once
so good.
dreamt about being chased by teddy bears, like gummy bears.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I had a dream I got chased by
It was-
Teletubbies.
Yeah, it was weird.
is wrong with
It was
y'all?
weird. It was
You-
weird, but it happened.
What does that mean? What do you think that means for both
I
of
think
you?
it feels like, I don't know.
Like
if
childhood
you think of,
escaping.
yeah,
Like,
I think
like
if you bring it
secret.
back to psychological stuff, it's like maybe like you feel like you're being chased in your like real
Yeah.
life, right?
There's meanings to dreams. Like, I used to have dreams about like my teeth falling out, and there's an actual. Apparently, a lot of people dream about it. There's an actual meaning behind it. I don't know what it is, but I feel like there's dreams like that where it symbolizes something that you wouldn't be able to come to a conclusion about yourself. There's also dreams where like you're in a bad relationship, you have a dream you're getting cheated on, very directly. Like, that's just your subconscious coming into your dreams and like playing it
Yeah.
out. But
has like that dream like you're talking about like played an effect in your actual reality?
Ooh, like,
where
does it impact?
Yeah, where you're
100%.
where you're like, this is my dream, and I dreamt about 3 times. Like, this is facts.
100.
Like, this is it.
No, 100%. If I was like in that relationship, for example, I was already insecure about this, and then I was dreaming about it every night. Of course, that's gonna impact me. Like when I sleep, this is
psychological
when
effect.
Like I'm sleeping, I'm trying to escape this bad relationship. You're literally following me into my peaceful time.
I think about Teletubbies, and you keep showing up as Teletubbies.
Let me sleep. Let me sleep.
Yeah, let me sleep.
Because okay, I think that's why that twitch happens. Like you wake yourself up, right?
Right.
So like that dream turns into a nightmare, and then turns into like you waking up.
Wait.
Right?
But Twitch though. Circle back. I'm curious because this was.
Yo, what happened to your mic?
Sorry.
What happened? This guy's like moving the. Okay, if for all the podcast for the Spotify guys, this guy like has his mic straight
I'm
up.
trying to find the angles here. Okay.
Move it down a bit.
Okay, it's like this, right?
Right, good. That's good.
Okay. So
Right
if
there,
anyone can hear me better, give it a like. Anyways. So. Yeah. So what we're going back to was how like girls dream about guys cheating on there, but
Yeah,
guys
you were gonna ask the
switch.
question.
But I was curious, like, can you prove, Crystal, as a person, can you assume like all guys twitch in their sleep?
Yes.
Like
Yes.
Facts. Jojo, do you feel like you twitch in your sleep? Do you feel like you twitch in your sleep?
It's funny though, because I wake up and then like the person I'm with is like, "You okay?" It's like, "Are you okay?" I'm like,
You good?
Because I wake myself up.
Right.
When I twitch, I wake myself up. I'm like, I'm
good.
I saw a tweet that was like, guys twitch in their sleep because it's the lies trying to escape.
Facts. As a male, I would like to.
The lie thing maybe not factual, but like all guys twitch in their sleep straight up. I've never met a guy who doesn't do it. It's so weird.
I mean, for me, it happens just because like I don't know, it's just a body reaction, right? But I guess to some girls, it might be something else, right?
Could be.
Well, I don't think anything of it's just like okay, that's also partly why I don't like to cuddle while we're sleeping. Like if you're fucking like having a seizure and I'm like trying to sleep,
Right.
how am I supposed to fall asleep when you're here twitching every time?
Sorry, wait. Are you a light sleeper? You feel like?
Oh, are you? Yeah. Are you a light sleeper? Heavy sleeper?
If I'm like if I'm dead asleep,
She's
that's
fall.
probably not gonna like impact me.
No,
but
yeah,
if
yeah.
I'm falling asleep trying to, and like I'm just about to get there, and you're like,
You're just like kicking,
Yeah.
like
exactly.
Okay, fair.
It's like, yo,
That's annoying.
I'm about to get there.
Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah,
okay.
that's super.
Okay, but then let's say
It's like. Oh, never mind. I wasn't really sexual, but like it's like about to like you're about to come or something, right? And
It
it's like
changes position.
they change,
like,
yeah, for women they change positions, and they're
yeah.
like, wow, I was about to be there.
I was about to-
I was right there.
and you
right?
just had to kick in your sleep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But what you're saying, yeah.
No, I was gonna ask like, so do you like there's always that meme or that TikTok of like middle of the sleep a guy like pulls you in closer to like cuddle you more. Do you find that endearing then? Does that wake you up, or you're like fucking leave me alone? Like I don't give a fuck about that.
If I'm dead asleep, I'm not gonna
Yeah.
You're not
notice
gonna-
that
you're
you're
not gonna
doing
say.
that.
I think if you're dead asleep, but then if you wake up to that, it's a bit more like it's nice. It's nice, right?
Okay,
Oh, yeah.
okay,
Right? Like
Yeah,
you wake
yeah,
up to like,
for
oh,
sure.
I'm getting cuddled and whatever, right?
Depends what mood I'm in though.
Okay.
Damn, if he just like cheated on you and
He's like, okay, wait. Also, another random idea. Sorry, I'm going on tangents about this sleep thing.
it's
but,
good,
like,
it's good.
Like,
Sleep is interesting.
I have this theory. Maybe it's about myself, but I feel like I've done enough field work.
Okay.
Do you, no.
Okay.
As dudes,
Okay.
do you all just grab a titty when you sleep?
My mind is blank.
You know, shut the fuck- you know, like sometimes you're like your hands off the shirt a little bit. Like,
I don't
do you feel
know.
like it's endearing? Because
It's kind of hard because like
It's endearing.
it's kind of hard because
it's like oh, it's like,
when I'm
it's
grabbing a
comforting.
titty, I'm conscious.
No, but when you sleep, you don't like just conscious like oh, it's nice to hold a titty in your sleep.
But that's hard because when I'm sleeping, I'm starfished. But then
Oh.
when I wake up and then I'm touching your titty, it's because I'm trying to fuck.
Okay,
I'm trying to fuck.
A girl's perspective, like, have you had a guy just like he's sleeping, but he just grabs the titty and like that's it?
I don't think so.
Oh, really? Okay. I've talked to some guys where they're like, yeah, like when I cuddle, I just like grab a titty and I fall asleep.
I
think it's funny.
I feel like that
No,
talks
no,
a
no,
lot
it's
more
for
about
them.
like the kind of person that you are than the person that you're holding.
Right,
Because it's
right,
like
right.
maybe you might be thinking about sexual things and you might be getting you're not really getting there. So like in your mind, you're kind of like running over and over scenarios, and it's just like you subconsciously, unconsciously kind of like grab a titty.
Yeah,
Why
yeah,
have
yeah.
you had girls tell you that you do that?
No, I say this because at first I was like, I don't know, there's no guidebook to cuddling, right? You know, like how do I cuddle a girl? Like especially for so I just naturally like I don't know,
pretty
when I'm sleeping,
self-explanatory.
I just like fucking grabbing titty when I sleep. It's like, you know, hugging a pillow.
So you do it.
I do it. I do it. 100%. I'm like, grab a titty, right?
Even when it's not there.
Yeah. No.
Come on.
No, but even at first, even one time I was like, asked my girl, I was like, hey, are you like comfortable with me just always grabbing your titty like when I sleep? She's like, no, I find it endearing or da. Because I was like, at this point, I'm like, I don't want you to feel pressure like that. This is the way I fall asleep. And I asked some other dudes, I'm like, I don't know, do you just grab a titty when you fall asleep or like find it nice and hold? And some of them were like, yeah, I like it. So I was just curious, like, is this a me thing? Is it some of those dude things? Is it a us thing? And
It's so funny. I've never heard a guy talk about
That's
this.
different.
it's like dynamic. I don't know. Like, I don't know. It's one of those thoughts I had, like those weird misnomers where you're like, okay, yeah, like, yes, I can cuddle her and maybe hold her hand or grab her face or cuddling, but it's like,
Damn, you're already having sex.
yeah, but like a you know, like, let me just scoop a titty. Like, I don't want to have sex. I just want to.
It is comforting. Like girls.
Wait.
Grab their own.
It is comforting. What?
like the, I don't want to say holding a titty, but like girls grab their own boobs all the time.
Oh, I think we're talking about if a girl grabs a guy's dick for comfort too, right?
Okay,
No, that's
girls do
different.
not grab guys' dicks for comfort.
I would like that. You would like
Shut the
that.
fuck up, Jojo. You look at me right now. If you're calling a girl, also she's like grabs your dick.
It's on. It's on. It's
It's
literally
not like,
on.
You're laying there. She grabs you like, yeah. This is very endearing. It's like the signals are like, okay, so I have 5 minutes to get real hard right now and like do my play. But I feel like, I don't know, as a dude, like sometimes when I grab titty, it's not like I'm on. It's just like I'm just like something about, I don't want to use the word motherly because that's weird, but it's very like this is like womanly.
Yeah.
Very like this is nice.
It's getting weird incesty. So
Anyway,
That's very
Anyways.
interesting.
So anyways, the original podcast was talking about boundaries, right? This topic. And
And we're actually gonna end it there.
oh, okay.
We're gonna end it there. This is a longer podcast. I know you were circling the back. We were going in circles. We're gonna move it.
Sorry, I was going on.
But it's really talking about titties. Are you an ass or a titty guy?
I used to be a titty guy, and I became an ass man.
Itty bitty titty committee. Who is ever
Okay, wait.
There's nothing wrong with having small boobs.
Okay,
Thank
this
you.
is the most misogynistic phrase.
Then don't say it.
Okay, well, anyways, I'm gonna say that. I mean, hear me out, but it's.
She will hear you out.
Okay, anyways, Jojo, hear me out.
Tread carefully.
It's like marry the ass by the titties.
Jesus.
I think like a lot, like some Americans say that.
Marry the ass by the titties.
I don't like, fully agree with that, but like loosely, what I translate that to is, I think when a girl has a booty, I physically alone.
They're
Aside from
attracted.
that, I feel that to grow that booty, unless
work.
you're blessed,
It takes work.
It takes
Yeah,
work.
yeah.
Versus where if you're blessed with the chest, granted, like all men, great to that.
Yeah,
But,
there is nothing like it goes both ways. It just depends what the kind of person
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
is going
yeah.
for
'Cause
you
I
wants.
used
right?
to love boobs, and
Yeah.
like it. There's just one time, right? Are we all podcast right now?
We're on a podcast right now.
okay.
But we'll. I'm actually gonna cut you right there.
Okay.
What if they wanted to hear?
I had a story.
What if
What
they
if-
wanted to
what if
I
they
had a
wanna hear
story.
about
I had a
titty
story.
story?
I had a story, but I'm not gonna talk about the story because it's like I don't mind sharing amongst us, but like I don't know, it's for everyone.
And we're gonna end it there. Thank you for watching. I had two amazing guests, Ivan Ho and Crystal Choi, and that will be all. Thank you for watching. Leave a like, subscribe, comments, and that is just a vibe. Peace.
And now shorty wanna date, but I'm married to this money. Watch her play it regulate like